During 2015, I decided to pursue modeling full-time, going to endless open calls in New York City, in a time when it was still feasible to walk into a modeling agency and show its bookers my portfolio. After many rejections and much discouragement, I began to look into smaller agencies as a means of getting myself in the door. BMG was a smaller agency, generating a buzz in the industry. They were known to represent new faces. They hosted their open calls at 3 p.m. every Wednesday, which didn't interfere with my class schedule. I was very nervous, but within 20 minutes, all the hopefuls had been weeded down to 3, including me, and I was signed. That was July 2015. In August, they reached out to me about the coming fashion week, insisting that I shoot with a famous photographer at an expense of $600 for an onboarding promotional. After this, I managed to book 6 fashion shows. However, during this time, I realized that all 6 of these shows were a result of my own networking efforts, rather than any labor on my agency's part. At one of my runway shows, I saw my booker there who did not even realize that I was in the show and was stunned, asking me what I was doing there. I told him that I had networked with the designer. He replied, "Well, that's how you do it," with a deep feeling of dissatisfaction. I thought to myself, isn't this supposed to be your job? Networking and promoting me? 2 months later, the booker left the agency without notifying anyone, including me. This became a common trend at BMG, and around 2018, I decided to look for a new agency. I immediately began to notice that something was very different about the modeling industry now. Work ethic had been entirely replaced by social media presence. If you were an influencer, agencies would immediately sign you, regardless of whether you really had the looks or qualification. This was confirmed when I again began attending open calls. Rather than looking at my portfolio, bookers wanted to know how many social media followers I had. I was told that the bigger your numbers, the more agents you would have chasing you down. They no longer wanted models, they wanted influencers. Fast forward 7 years, gone are the Naomi Campbells, Cindy Crawfords, and all the models from the 60s through the 90s who had inspired me. In fact, the current modeling industry appears to be altogether missing its fundamental factor, beauty. Where have all the beautiful people gone?
How many other American industries have suffered a similar fate? For example, a literary agent or publisher will no longer consider a new writer's manuscript without his/her having a large social media following. Musicians now contend with a similar fate, requiring them to pay for visibility. Actors and extras are being replaced en masse by AI. Illustrators and sketch artists have been relegated to oblivion. How long will we keep pretending that there is money and opportunity for artists and performers in the digital age? Clearly, the opposite is now true. How long before all industries are warped and flattened by this same beast? For Brandish Productions, this is Daddy Brandish.